Have mixed emotions about it. Because I'm glad that he made, enough of a success to make a living, but some of it is too much for him, I think. For all of us, really, it's a little overwhelming. But I'm very proud of him.
What's it like to have him come home like that?
Wonderful. I don't get enough hugs. And his baby is beautiful.
Recuperating in Rome, he drank alcohol on top of a prescription sedative and collapsed in a coma.
Cobain are clearly and dramatically improving. Yesterday has been hospitalized at the Roma Medical Hospital in a state of deep coma and respiratory failure. Today he is recovering from the pharmacological coma due not to narcotics, but the combined effect of alcohol and tranquilizer that had been regularly prescribed by doctor.
It was a dead body, but they have not released a name pending notification of next of kin. Now, to bring you up to date, apparently an electrician was inside the Kurt Cobain home this morning at approximately 8:30 when that electrician discovered the body of a white male, apparently in his late 20s. The man had been shot to death, apparently a self-inflicted wound from a gunshot. Police found a one-page suicide note next to the body, also some form of ID. Now, officials at this point have not released a name on that body. We are awaiting the medical examiner's report. In the meantime, officials tell us that they are continuing their investigation. Nirvana itself is known for its grunge music. They released their third album last year. You may remember that their first album on a major label sold 7 million copies. It is a three-piece band, and Kurt Cobain is the lead singer in that group. Once again, officials are still on the scene conducting their investigation. We are awaiting a word on the identification of that body, a white male in his late 20s found inside the Kurt Cobain home this morning. I'm Bill Prasad reporting live in Seattle.
Bill, are more fans gathering around the house?
A couple more.
I'd like to thank my family.
Let's talk about that Tom thing. I suspected Tom would probably be cleaned up. And I told everybody that. Yeah, you know what? Yeah.
Original purpose of this interview, before we got into all this incredible information, was this movie Soaked in Bleach. Now, you mentioned that Tom Grant doesn't like you, okay? Right. Such a likable guy. What's your problem with Tom Grant?
He is.
No, you are. You're a likable guy. What's your problem? What's his problem with the Hank
Oh, well, look, here's the thing. If I say anything, I'm damned if I'm do and I'm damned if I don't, because if I say anything, to answer your question, it's going to be construed as me bad rapping Tom. The last thing I want to do is bad rap Tom, because he's the guy that's going to pull the trigger on getting the whole thing started with the case history and all that stuff, right?
Yeah.
So I don't want to say anything negative, but I got a feeling I see down the road a piece, I can see an obstruction on the tracks. And one of those obstructions is that at some stage or another, somebody's going to accuse Tom of being right-wing. Really, really right-wing, man. Because he knows that I'm Grateful Dead people,
Yeah.
and he knows who I am. He's checked me out. He knows what I do. I am the real guy. If you check me out, that's me. I'm the guy. I hung out with David Crosby. I hung out with Bill Lesh. I hung out with Jerry Garcia. Jerry Garcia is my worst failure as an anti-heroin abuse guy. I tried to get him to quit heroin. He wouldn't do it. I have pals. And along the line, I managed to make some mistakes and I made some successes, okay? Tom has checked out my record thoroughly all the way back. And, man, Tom doesn't like what he read or what he found. The reason is because, don't forget, Tom was Paula Jones' bodyguard during the Clinton second election, right?
Yeah.
Remember when they were saying Paula Jones, that Clinton raped Paula Jones and all that stuff?
Yeah, Paula Jones is a friend of mine. I'm doing an interview with Paula Jones coming up.
Well, ask her what she thinks of Tom Grant, man, because Tom was her bodyguard.
Oh, okay, I will.
Yeah.
Okay, very good.
I'm not lying.
No, I don't think you're lying. I would never accuse you of lying.
If I'm lying, I'm dying.
Yeah.
So here's this guy that has extreme right-wing views.
Gotcha.
He's a little bit left of the Koch brothers, but not much. Or maybe even right. Who knows? I mean, he's probably mellowed out over the years, but he took one look at me and said, "Oh, this guy's way on the wrong side of the political spectrum," and he doesn't like my attitude towards organizations and where I can come from. I'm not a communist, but I'm certainly an old liberal radical guy, and I've stuck to that, over the years. And I voted for Hillary, and I'll vote for Hillary. I mean, I voted for Obama, and I'll vote for Hillary. That's where I'm coming from. I'm not apologizing for it, but Tom apparently finds that to be odious and difficult to deal with. So that's the way it goes. So I try not to offend him. The guy's built like a left tackle on a football team anyway. He's really a nice guy, but he's a healthy guy. He's got a right to do this. He landed into a pile of crap when he met Courtney in the first place, but now that and by the way, she used him.
Yeah.
And I think Tom knows that everybody knows that he was kind of duped. He's not stupid, but he just got cleverly duped by a very clever person. And I think he's trying to get back even in his own head about what happened, and he's got the facts to prove it. So why shouldn't he? I'm all for him. That's why I'm not saying anything bad about Soaked in Bleach, because it's a pretty good movie. And it's funny because I didn't have the material. Tom wants to keep that whole case strictly on his material. Here's the problem. I'm guaranteeing you, and this is the blockade down the road, down the tracks. She will never be brought to justice on Tom Grant's material alone.
metal band Noxious Fumes playing at the Guerrilla Gardens, and the bald guy there, that's Dylan Carlson. And next to him, slamming, I think is Jonathan Poneman, who is one of the owners of Sub Pop. This would have been like 1985. I think we played with, I think it was Melvin's actually at that show.
John in Tacoma, what did you want to share?
Yeah, I am a recovering drug addict, and I was in a drug rehab facility with Dylan Carlson in 1995 in Wenatchee, Washington. I didn't know that was Dylan Carlson at the time. Had no idea. Got out of the drug rehab facility and relapsed with Dylan Carlson. He was the first person I ever injected drugs with, and that was in 1995. And almost on a daily basis, I would walk with him over to a local mini-mart that was by there, and he was receiving Western Unions from somebody over on the West Coast. He said it was from, he was his band manager, but I overheard the phone conversations, and I know for a fact that it was a female, and I just found it very suspicious. All this is very suspicious, and I don't believe Kurt Cobain killed himself. I believe he was murdered.
I mean, I don't know if I should go into it, but for some reason, well, I guess I'll just do it. Why not? Basically, for some reason, he got his dream come true, which was to join the Melvins, and then promptly got kicked out, and for some reason, because he couldn't strike back at Buzz, he decided I was the enemy, and so he went to Portland, stole the masters, and started bootlegging the first Earth stuff, and then also went to Sub Pop and got paid again after being reimbursed for what he had contributed to the recording costs. So yeah, I'm not sure why, but yeah, so that's what happened there.
Dylan, fuck you. You made me attempt suicide in 2018 after speaking with Hank Harrison, Courtney Love's father, on the phone. Fuck you. You started a big spiritual war, motherfucker, and I'm going to live and fucking die for Kurt Cobain. I don't give a fuck. The people around him are fucking wimps. His band doesn't give a shit about him. No wonder he wanted to fucking quit it.
Two of Kurt Cobain's best friends, Mark Lanegan and Dylan Carlson, say that Courtney Love saved their lives after Kurt's death. They were struggling addicts at the time, and Courtney felt that Kurt would want them to be saved. So she decided to support them both morally and financially so that they could go to rehab and turn their lives around.
You know, I tried to get this dealer busted, and I'm dealing with a Detective Terry in Seattle Narcotics.